Hey there, on my last video, I was talking about how to face your drill bit in order to make good holes inside of it. And I also want to express the importance of not forcing your drill bit inside of it. Because what can happen is, once you get that build up in there, especially when you're doing something like acrylic, you'll end up making your hole diameter bigger than what you're intended. So, and it may not seem like much or that it can do much, but when the parts are made to kind of go exact, and you throw something out of alignment, then you'll notice a difference. Now, stop messing with that on my phone.
No.
So, picking his nails. So anyway, let me give you an example of what I was talking about on how, and sometimes you can't help it. Usually, when you first start drilling, because I don't have a drill press, so it's really difficult for me to make a really good straight line, but it does well enough. Because actually, when I do drill the hole and I put the insert on the inside of it, I will use some glue that will kind of swell up and cover up all the gaps. So, come on, let me show you something right quick. All right. So here, I have a blank that I had drilled with the 3/8 drill bit. Let me dig in this jar here. Here are some 3/8 inserts. This is not the one that goes to this. It's just the insert. I just want to show you the difference here. Okay. So, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the ones that I'm going to actually glue inside. And I'm going to show you the importance of not forcing your drill bit inside of it and the possible outcomes and the difference that it makes on your diameter of your hole. Okay, it's a 3/8 hole diameter. Of course, like once you get in the beginning of it, a lot of times once you punch through, that may be more exact than what you started with. The reason being is because I'm on this on my lathe, it's not fitted. It's not precise to make a good straight line. I'm just doing the best I can with it. So if you look on this side, you see how close fitting that is? Now, look on this side. You see the gap in there? And that's what I'm talking about, the gap in there. So we don't want that to happen. However, I was saying the glue that I use, this Titebond liquid glue, it's a polyurethane liquid glue. And what it does is it will expand on the inside and kind of build up like a foam. And it holds it pretty strong. So that's why I don't worry about it so much. And then, of course, once I put it on and spin it, I'm going to get it back centered again, according to what I need. But I just want to show you guys the importance. It does the same thing on here. You see how tight that is? And then look at the other side. You see the space? Now again, either that can happen. It's not so bad here. Either that can happen when you're forcing too much in and you get the material built up on it. Or you could have an inaccurate drilling process like I have, which in that case, I think that's what it is mostly. It's not, I don't force the drill bit in. In fact, when I feel the drill bit getting a little tight, I like to back it out and let some of the particles come out of it and drop down. And then I go back inside of it. Because again, I don't want it to build up. And then you can hear it squeaking and squealing and all kind of stuff. So, when I'm drilling, it doesn't cause too much dust. I like this fixture because when I'm cutting a square or rectangular type blank, when I put it in between these two, put it in those jaws, it's going to make it center. It's going to make it center every time. Even if it was this long, when I put it on those two corners, it's going to get me in the center of that. All right, so. And I have my drill because this is, I put the revolutions down, the RPMs down pretty low. But right now this is spinning at about 1100 RPM. which is as low as this my variable lathe will let it go. So I move it up a little close, get it close to it, not touching, and then I can lock it down using here. So then when I drill, I'm going in slow. I'm not going in fast because I don't want to get it at an angle. And when you're drilling it, you try to go in to where you're making these come out. Giving a long, smooth. That lets you know that you're going in fairly even at the same rate anyway. When it keeps coming out, then once you hear the squeal, so I'm finna back out. And I'm gonna let some of that stuff come off of there. And I'm gonna go back in. Now when I think it's getting too much, if it stops coming out evenly, because this likes to build up on the inside, when you back it out, it'll kind of, you can see how much the build up is. You see that? So I'll come out on it. Look over here. You see how I try to make it even. I try to go at a smooth rate of speed in order to have the same even effect, because I don't want to push it too hard. And if I feel a buildup on it, or if we get to squeaking, then I know I got a lot of material inside. Right now you see it falling out pretty good. It's falling out constantly. And that's why I like to turn those bills up and down, because it'll keep coming out the bottom real good. See, it's still kind of soft and fluffy. That lets me know I wouldn't put too much pressure on it. If it was hard and solid, then that would inform me that I was pushing it too hard, I was building up heat, and it was starting to melt. And you don't want it to melt inside of there. Now I'm going to do a different kind of material. This is same kind. This is about the same kind. So as you see, this one is not as square. This one is more square. This one is more rectangle-ish looking. And you can see the corners. But I'm going to still get in the center of that. I'm not going to have as much space on the sides as I do on this one. But I'm still going to be in the center. And that's going to make a huge difference when I start turning it to make the pen. Then we got to go into it slow. Because with this, I notice if you go into it too fast, and I'm at a slight angle, that little bit of angle right here is going to make a huge difference when it comes out the back. Huge difference. I like to keep it rolling, keep it spinning when I'm backing it out. But you got to be careful not to back it out too far. You see, on my lathe, it has increments on here. So of course, if you back it out too far, that's how you take the drill bit off. So one time, I accidentally went back too far. I went down to 0 and they kicked my bit out and this thing started spinning around. As much as I wanted to take out running, I didn't. I stayed here and I turned my machine off, but I still had my drill bit inside my blank, and it was spinning that deal around, and of course it snapped my drill bit before it finally stopped turning. But anyway, I won't do that again. So again, I'll listen for the, make sure it's going in smooth, and I'll try to turn it at an even rate. Just start building up. When you hear that noise, that's while I take it out. Alright, work all the way through. Ta-da, finished. You see how I don't have more space on this side and that side than I do here. But then again, when I turn it, it's going to be round. So my diameter, I'm going to still have at least that much on it when I turn it. And these are going to go into some, it's going to be like a handgun type pen. And it's pretty neat. I think it's pretty neat. I hope it turns out well, because what it's going to do is, instead of clicking it or doing the bolt action, you hold the pen and pull it back like you were doing your handgun. You pull it back like that. So I think this is a real fun thing to do. I'm excited about getting it made, and hopefully it turns out well. As you see, I have my thin blue line because I think it'd be good for, police officers. You want to support Beyond Brotherhood. Purchase one of these babies. And I got the molten metal. And this molten metal looks great with bullet type hardware. Any gold, brass, or any color, because of how it reflects out of it, which I don't have a piece right now with me, but I think I showed you guys what this kind of material looks like when it gets done. In fact, I think I have one. Give me 1 second and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Oop, it's dark in here. It's dark. All right, come here. So, this is the .30 caliber click pen. Okay? So, what this does is, I need to fix the spring in there. There we go. This material would look like this when I'm done with it. So I thought I'd show you guys that. Okay, so, and basically what I want to go over this again, and what I was demonstrating is how you drill it in and how I keep this down, because all of this starts to come out at the right angle once it comes here. When I turn it sideways, I notice it builds up on the side, and when it comes up on the side out of my part, then it'll end up getting twisted back around on the inside of here and cause a lot of build up. I don't know why. I don't know the physics behind that. I just know it happens. I think if you put a drill bit on, all the stuff should come out the same way regardless of which way this is pointed. But I've noticed that when you're going in this way, or when you're going in, lateral? When you're going in parallel to the drill, going in lateral, not vertical, horizontal to it, it comes out here. But if I turn these blades this way, it'll come out on the side, and it ends up flipping up and kind of getting twisted back in there. But so that's why I do it this way. Just something I learned from experience. Not that I know the mathematical equation that'll tell me why that thing flips around like that. I have no clue. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a master machinist either, but as I've told several times, I'm still verting at doing this stuff. See, my son is having fun with that camera. But anyway, I just want to show you guys that. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you what that handgun looks like. I'm going to go glue these pieces together. It'll be a couple days before I can do anything with it. And in that time, I'm going to see about lining up some more pieces to get ready to put together. Anyway, thank you guys. Be blessed.